because a couple of guys aren't here that I wish they were here. Just to let you guys know, we didn't disrespect Brock because he didn't have a day. We've rotated the A's. Garland's worn it. Myers has worn it. Bess has worn a lot. Forber could wear it. So we didn't disrespect an 8-year or 9-year guy here, which they're trying to cause problems. So just to let you guys know. So that's the reason why. And if you can ask Brock Boeser if he feels like Rick Tocchet disrespects him.
Why did you want to get that off your chest?
Because it's just the narrative that some guys try to cause crap all the time. And, we played a half-decent game last night. A couple of moments, I was talking to Ian about that we need some guys to do, which is, you guys all know that. And the first thing is, disrespecting Brock Boeser about a stupid A. So that's what you got to deal with sometimes. Makes it tough to talk to, not a lot of you guys, but some guys. So that's I got to get off my chest.
I didn't touch it.
No, but
Can we send you a bill for the therapy?
Yeah. No, I'm good. I just
There's no more you.
You're kind of
I like getting in scrums once in a while.
Yes.
I remember that.
Yeah. But anyway, sorry.
You were kind of heated last night. Very seldom have we seen you unload with some of your comments.
Yeah.
You still stand by what you said last night in terms of guys earning ice time? Because
Well,
a lot
it's-
of people agree.
It's what?
I think a lot of people agree with what you said last night.
Well, it's not. It's okay, in the sense that it's a new day today. I talked to the team today. We're in a dogfight, and there's just it's a 1-1 game, and we're in a dogfight, and there's situations where you need people to have a little desperation in their game. And I'm not going to pick out guys because you're looking for desperation, and I didn't see it. So you have to go with guys that you thought you saw it. I thought guys like Hogland the last couple of weeks, you can see he's fighting thing, and we need some guys. Don't get me wrong, they're playing good hockey for me, but there's some games where we need more. I don't think it's a problem to say that.
You've talked about going to the tough areas, going to the middle of the ice. You keep on repeating it week after week. How much of that has to do with the fact of trying to maybe program guys who aren't used to doing that, and also just dealing with the personnel that you have? Maybe you don't have those guys.
Well, it's honestly, you just keep talking about it, and you practice it. You talk about it, you show it. You talk about it at breakfast. You talk at lunch and dinner. You just keep doing it. Eventually, it will, it'll come to fruition, right? There was just a couple of loose pucks there. I thought if we stopped on it, or if we got in. I'm a big body position guy. This game's all about body position. The best players in the world, they're great, but they're body position and then the puck. And I think we got to get that habit, and it's habitual. So it's on me. It's my job to get these guys to do it. And when we do it, we're a good team. And when we don't, we're then you're flipping a coin.
We haven't seen Quinn in a week's time. I'm assuming he skated today. You got back-to-backs coming up. What are we looking at?
Yeah. It's unfortunate because we didn't practice today. He would have been in practice today. I don't know what jersey he had it on, in the sense that, but he's progressing, and he could surprise us at any time when he's ready to go. I'm not saying he's going to be in the lineup tomorrow, but it's coming. I just don't know when.
You still need to see him practice though, or could he?
I mean, I think at this point, I would there's enough games where I don't know if you can just kind of throw him in if it's the last game of the year. I don't know, and I don't want to play the what if card, but for the good of him, I'd like to see him practice with us.
Was this a push day for him? You talked yesterday about how he'll push it, and then the next day the recovery is a kind of a better marker.
There was more of a push today than the other day. Yes.
Jake's a big guy, skates well for a big guy. He's got 22 goals, pretty hard to knock anything he does. But I did ask him, he kind of touched on it, for a guy like that to maybe get into the corner boards, win a puck battle and take the puck directly to the net, just to add another element to his game. Is that something you want to see from him? I mean, his down low is good, but...
Yeah. No, he's scored a lot of goals for us in front of the net. I mean, that's one thing he does well. And I'm not saying him, but our team has... We got to win these battles, and we showed 7 or 8 today where it's a lot of positional, and Dallas came up with those pucks. Dallas didn't have a lot of shots, that they had 18 shots. If we win, there's 8 of them. I remember there were 8 clear ones, and I think we lost 7 of them in this situation. If we even get 500 there, that's 3-4 extra possessions, which you never know can happen. So I think we just got to play that card. You got to really understand on where you're supposed to be on battles in your position.
Jake did said he doesn't want to be standing around, you know what I mean, any longer, just waiting for something to happen. Maybe it's tough to win a board battle on the corner, but you got to get in there. You got to win.
Well, yeah, and, like I said, sometimes you have a tough night and you got to get reminded.
Sure.
We all have to be reminded sometimes where you got to go to score goals. But I will say, give him a lot of credit. He's scored a lot of goals in front of the net for us.
We always talk about culture. It's a hard thing to manufacture, but with so many changes to this roster this year, do you think that's part and parcel of inconsistency and maybe not having a...
I mean, that's after the year to reflect.
Yeah.
We've got new guys, young guys. Obviously, some situations have hit us this year, whether it's our fault or whatever, or just bad luck. I don't know. We'll reflect at the end of the year, but we're in the thick of these things with all the stuff we've dealt with. I'm going to take the positive road because of that, but it's my job to get the best version of this team so we can get a crack at the playoffs.
Rick, how big is this week for you guys?
Well, we got 3 and 4. We got the back-to-back coming, and then we got a couple days on back. So these there are 8 points available to us, and we got some runway we got to go here. We got to get going. But like I said, we got to show it on the ice for 60 minutes. You can't give 40 minutes, and I think that's something we're trying to find in our game. The consistency you're talking about, the consistency of winning battles, or the consistency of we're defending the puck pretty well. I mean, you're holding these teams to 18 shots, some good teams, and we played some good teams where we're not giving them a lot, but that doesn't mean you shut it down on the other end.
You had an overtime loss in Montreal, Suzuki scores on the power play in OT, but this team didn't do anything at the deadline, so they basically said to the guys, we're going to go. And you can see how jacked up they are about playing. I mean, Suzuki and Caulfield have 131 points between them, 50 goals, first line, first power play. How much of a challenge is that tomorrow night?
Well, they're a fast team. They're young. Everybody knows where they're going. Yeah. They're a young team, and they didn't want to, damage whatever they were doing with whether it's a trade there for them. I can't speak for them. All I know is they're a fast team. They're moving in the right direction.
Rick, is Thatcher's situation different than Quinn's in the fact that, I know you've told us that he's been skating for the last week. Is he closer to getting thrown in, or are you going to need to see the same amount of practice time before you put him in?
Yeah, I don't know the exact many practices you want Thatcher to be in. I mean, obviously sometimes things are accelerated. Is it 2, 3, 4? I don't know. Somewhere in there for him to get in some. He's got to see some pucks. He's got to have people in front of him. There's got to be some game action in front of him. But if there's a guy that could go in there without as much practice time, he's one of the top goalies in the league that can do that, but it's not a recipe you want for him.
Will you be able to rely on him at any point for the rest of the way?
I think so. I do. He's sorted out a few things. He's got, for different rehab stuff, I think that he's feeling really positive, so that makes me feel good about that. Because listen, as much as I want him to play, I want him to be healthy too.
You mentioned the 2 back-to-backs this week. Artie went down and played in Abbotsford. How important was that for you guys to get him into a game before potentially having to use him a couple times?
He needs to get in some live action. Whether he I don't know what game, how we're sorted out, but obviously, we're in situations now. We got to win. We got to win a lot of games. So you got to make sure that everybody's sharp.
Is it load management too, depending on tomorrow night what you do in Calgary?
I don't know. I'm trying to look at as a coach. I don't think I've ever. Maybe I have back-to-back, and that's a lot of. Whether you play lengths or a guy like that back-to-back, there's a lot of factors. Sure. Shot volume, stress in front of the net, all that sort of stuff. So you got to be careful because, he's a good goaltender length. So I don't want to overrun him, but he knows the severity, and he's the type of guy that you tell him to go in the net, he wants the net. So that's what I love about the guy.
Yeah. Is there a chance you get Artie another start in the American League this week?
Because of schedule, I don't know in the next couple of days, but we'd have to look at that down the week. Yes, I mean as much as possible, get him game action, 100%.
Thatcher's injury has it turned out to be this one more serious than you thought? I think initially you called it a tweak.
Yeah, because of the injury, sometimes they are tweaks, but then they linger on. Maybe I didn't take the fact that it's a goalie too, and those type of injuries are a little bit longer. So yeah, and probably I was just hoping it was a tweak. I was trying to convince myself it was a tweak. So obviously I was wrong.